Episode number 5. We've made it this far. Varying degrees of success to this point, but we're here again. So, yeah, whether you like it or not, we're going to keep making these episodes. So, we're either going to annoy you enough to make you watch them and listen to them, or you'll just learn to ignore us eventually. It's just kind of how it's going to
It's
go. So,
exciting though. It's exciting that we've gone to that we've gotten already 5 episodes. Well, four done now,
this
doing
is
five.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's exciting, right?
Yeah, for me, it's exciting. I don't know for anybody else.
Yeah, I feel happy because I feel like okay, soon I just feel it. Soon it'll be like, oh my god, the year anniversary.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, get heading in that direction. I'd
yeah,
say we have to do 52 of these to make that happen, but
it's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
I'm
gonna
not
happen.
doubting you. It's not doubt involved. I'm just saying
It's gonna
you got to make
happen.
52 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and we will. And I'm happy. And it's really cool too because now, see, we've always, here's the thing. Chris and I have always been, involved in, the paranormal and conspiracy and, spiritual and, just fringe sort of stuff happening, news, all that. And now, and we've always talked about it. We
Yeah.
always have these awesome discussions of, as we said in other episodes. And now, like, we get to talk to you guys about it. You get to hear how our brains work. And oh my gosh. And so, since the last one, a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff. I was just really excited to hurry up and record this one.
Yeah. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on. I mean, and it's weird, right? Because I think about this really quickly. I just want to go back. Okay. So back in the day with the paranormal or anything kind of out of the realm of,
Back in my day.
yeah, back of normal. But here's the thing. You would have to really work to get something to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd have to go on that investigation and work for that one piece of evidence. You'd have to, go sit out in the fields or in the mountains at a lookout station to see a little light that might move across the sky like that. I've discovered UFOs. So these were the normal things that we dealt with, and it was so rare, right? But since the CERN uh, came to be and all these different things, we're starting to see things accelerate. And we talked about 2020 was the time where everything just jumped, right? But
And
not like this.
no, not like this. And it's just been, it's just been crazy. And yes, we hear about it we hear about it more, excuse me, because social media is just so in our face now, and so we see everybody's recordings and everybody's experiences and all that. But also, not just that, it's also like it's just happening more. I mean, maybe they're gonna say, "D, it just seems like it is," but no, I'm sorry. I've been doing this for long enough, very long time to know like this shit's happening a lot more. And
Well, is it happening more or are we seeing it now?
well, that's
You
what I
know,
said the last time
I mean,
because of
because,
social media, because of TikTok.
yeah,
Like TikTok, everybody has it, so you're seeing everybody's experiences, and now people they always have the phone with the camera and everything. They go live or they record stuff or they go, "Hey, look what I found in my backyard." And then also, you got to use discernment because the evil thing that is AI, like people are using it. And it's getting scary how like freaking hard it is to detect. Is
yeah.
this real? Is it fake? So we got to battle. See, we didn't have to battle that back then. We
No,
didn't.
my biggest battle used to be Photoshop
Yeah,
because
Photoshop and faking EVPs.
yeah, Photoshop, fake EVPs, that kind of thing. Because people got really good at using those kind of deals, and people who wanted to make like money quick would put
Mm-hmm.
together ghost videos. And people like me, look, you can clearly see the small light anomaly shoot through the thing. And people like, oh, cool. And then these people would come back with full blown apparitions running through walls, and I'm like, well, I can't compete with that because mine's real. It's not fake.
Exactly. And so it's been exciting. It's been a little freaky. It's been,
I'm a little numb, right?
and yeah, it's like every other, you're scrolling and every other video is look at this and look at this and look at this. And then I just gotta say, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I mean, we're all still here, right? I mean, the whole portal opening of the Vatican and everything. I'm not saying that nothing happened, but I think a lot of people were expecting for the world to implode when it happened. Some people, and I only say that because I was reading some of the comment sections and some of the videos, and I would try to tell people, I don't think anything big is going to happen like that. I just think this is the start of a symbolic ritual that they're doing to kind of tell us, hey, look, we've been ritualistic this whole time. And we could all see it too, like we talked about in the last episode. We talked about how the little rituals that they do and with the incense and all of those things that it's obvious that it's got its roots in paganism or in witchcraft, which is, nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of practitioners that are very good at their craft, but it's like when they deny that it's just another craft, it's like it's obvious. You see, the similarities and all of that. And I think that this last ritual that they did on Christmas Eve, and I read somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, you guys, and I don't know if you've heard this because I haven't brought it up to you. I did read somewhere and I watched a few videos that people put out, something that they had found, that they weren't opening all five on Christmas Eve. It was going to start the first one on Christmas Eve, and then they were going to do another one the next day and another. So, and at this point, because here's the other thing, the sensationalism of it sort of died down. So I haven't seen as much of it. So at this point, I don't even know if they already opened all five.
Well, they have now. We're recording on the 27th, by the way. So the
Okay.
last portal was opened yesterday, supposedly, and that was the one that was in the prison. That was the big one they had to do in the
I
prison.
thought it was going to be the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 30th.
Not from what I've heard. I thought that the last one was on. Well, we'll find out, right? But
Yeah, that's just what I heard, and I didn't have a chance to really really look into it, and I hate that because usually when we do these, I'm like, I looked into it, guys. So that's something, you guys can tell me in the comment section. I'll go look into it again, and that's what I heard. So it wasn't going to be all five on the same night, and there's a reason why. I mean, this is five of them. If you look at the points, one thing I did see, I don't know if you saw this, and I researched and I saw several videos, several drawings, several maps, and several other people's like extensive research on it. That the different points of the places where they were opening these portals,
yeah,
if you trace those points, they make the Lucifer's sigil,
yeah.
and it's interesting because a lot of people are referring to the tomb underneath the Vatican as the tomb of Lucifer, and we got into that discussion last week, and it was really
Well,
interesting.
and there's some backtracking on that now. I actually was reading up on this one, and they said that Lucifer was actually a very common name at that time, and that there was I believe it was either a pope or a cardinal, or there was something along those lines that had the name Lucifer that was buried in there. So they're saying, oh yeah, it's Lucifer, but not that Lucifer. That's what they were getting at. I don't buy any of it, honestly. It just doesn't make sense to me. And
That's
then
interesting. I didn't hear that.
yeah, I heard about that.
Huh.
And I can get the detailed fact on that just to show you. But you know, the thing is that I think a lot of people are expecting, because we've had so many crazy things happening all at once, that they open the final portal and whatever happens. The devil comes out, the demons are released, whatever. Who knows? Maybe it's just opening the door so that when that thing is ready, it can come through. It doesn't necessarily have to happen at that time. That's kind of where I'm feeling about it. That now the door is open, you're welcomed in. At that point.
I there's been a lot of craziness leading up to that. And like I said, they started it, possibly already finished opening all five. Before that we had all the I mean, it's an exciting time for people like you and I who study paranormal and weird happenings and strange phenomena, because we've had a lot of craziness happening. Um and some people believe that maybe these things are connected, like the UFO sightings and what they're doing up there, the drones, the orbs that now they're catching, these orbs that they're and it's like they're like, could it be connected? Could the portal increase the energy? Is it something that they're doing to fight back on what's happening? And then the other thing that I started seeing, and I couldn't wait to do this episode to talk about it because everything's still going on simultaneously. All these things are going on at the same time. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I know you have because we spoke about it. Is in North Carolina. It was North Carolina or South Carolina?
South Carolina.
In South Carolina, there's several TikTok users who have now started going outside and videotaping, recording their trees because there's like some invisible, strange creature, being, something in those trees breaking off the branches. And
If you've seen the movie Predator,
yeah.
it's what's happening right now. Like you can clearly see either somebody's really good with AI or whatever, but you can see like a cloaked kind of figure jumping, and whatever kind of damage is taking place in those trees, it's not light. It's like a gigantic. A bear could do what this is doing. So how freaking scary is that, right? There's
It
very
looks
few.
invisible. It looks like an invisible force
Well, and
field.
if you see it, it kind of like it looks cloaked. Like just go watch the movie, go watch Predator.
Yeah,
It looks exactly
Predator.
like that.
That's
Um,
what we were like. Oh my god, it's Predator.
but like, there's very few things that actually like frighten me. Like the thought of something, I'm like, okay, demons, whatever. Okay, aliens, whatever. Blah blah. Like I'm good with all of it. But when you watch this video, there is a childhood terror that goes along with this.
Oh,
If you're not feeling it, you're not human, because it's like, okay, so you're telling me the boogeyman is some kind of gigantic invisible friggin' creature that can tear apart trees, shred trees, and we're just supposed to sit back and go, oh, cool, okay, I'm sure it'll be fine. That's scary.
now I had a thought. Excuse me. I had a thought, and we were talking about how it's invisible, like an invisible force field. But one of the things that they noticed about the way the branches were being broken is that the branches were being broken in the same manner that Bigfoot breaks, branches in the same way, the same way. Every time Bigfoot hunters look for, they see those signs. Oh, there it is, broke the branch, broke the tree.
Well, it's like a shredded tree, and then the tree is like turned upside down, roots on top, tree
And
going.
and some of these branches are broken in the same manner. And then I'm like, wait a minute, we've had that discussion before about Bigfoot. We've talked about, do you think Bigfoot is interdimensional, can travel between the two dimensions, the two worlds? So the reason why we don't see a lot of him, and we know he's there, but he's rarely ever caught on, footage of him is rarely ever caught. And we've it's got to be that there's a way that he can cloak himself, or he can travel between the two dimensions, or kind of invisible. And we were like, oh my god, invisible Wookiees, like what?
Right. It's true, but I mean, you think about like some of the footage, some of the better footage we've ever seen of Bigfoot when
Mm.
he's hiding, and they're like, then we went back and looked at the video and we noticed in the back, and there will be a creature that's completely camouflaged in with its environment, and you have to go, wait, whoa, okay, I see the eyes, I see the nose, I see the mouth,
Yes.
and it's just literally still, because it does not want to have anything to do with humans, which I think is a good thing. Let me just put you that way. I don't think that we're going to suddenly discover these things and be like, we're all friends, let's all dance together.
No.
I don't think that that's the case. I think that they're a different creature than we are, and I don't think that they necessarily even care about us in the sense of wanting to interact, because you see they never do. But there have been reports, right? So we have the that's a car, by the way. That is not a Bigfoot. That was a car screaming by.
When you're talking about, like, wait, we hear something, it turns into a
There's
different,
something outside. No,
it
it's not
turns
like
into a
that.
totally different video.
But no, but the for the most part, what we know is in North America, there's very few reports of aggressive Sasquatch or aggressive, whatever you want to call them, skunk apes or whatever. But when you get to Russia, that's a whole different story. You find that when they start talking about the Sasquatch there, they're very aggressive,
Oh
and
yeah,
there were
the what's he called, the abominable snowman? But
yeah, they say
what's
abominable snowman.
but what's the name? The other name?
It slipped my
Me
mind.
too.
It'll
Keep
come
going.
to
It'll
us.
come to me. Yeah.
But there was the kids that went, the college kids that went out, and they were actually, they believe, murdered by whatever this creature was, hunted and killed, and they found the lost footage later on, which was pretty terrifying. But there's also been, like, on some of the more modern TV shows, people who are in Russia, and they go, which God bless the Russian people, because they're not afraid of the big, like we see big feet, we're out the other way, right? They're like, I saw something in the
I'm gonna
bushes.
go after it.
They're going after, running after it with their little camcorders or whatever, and then the thing finally stops and chases them back, and then they run. But they're very aggressive. They seem to be aggressive. So what if? I mean, we're what ifing here. This is not documentary. We're not claiming anything. But what if these more aggressive versions of these interdimensional creatures are now being unleashed in North America? And what is that? That is
a
a
Yeti.
Yeti. Yeah,
Yeti. That's what it is. I
that's
knew it would come to me.
that's a scary proposition to think what could possibly happen. invisible monsters that can literally just shred trees. That's
Sorry.
definitely not a good thing. So
Sorry, guys.
Dee's grabbing her phone right now.
Yes.
We had a phone ring. Sorry, guys, we're coming back in right now. But yeah, it's a terrifying thought to think if these creatures are out there, because this would be the first thing I can think in truly in the paranormal that I've actually said, "Wow, that'd be terrible."
And it would be, and it's something scary. When I watched those videos, that's why I wanted to bring it up. When I watched those videos, I immediately started sending them to Chris, and then we started talking about it, and I was like, "This is scary." Like, yeah, the UFOs and the lights and the aliens should also be of concern because we don't know exactly what they want, But I don't that discernment that we all have. I don't feel 100% scared of those, but this gave me. I was like, okay, and it's because you start thinking about, you guys have seen those movies like what was it, The Quiet Place? So that's the name of the movie
Hmm.
where they had to be quiet because these creatures, come out and I'm like, it's kind of I got that feeling from those videos.
I know that
Now,
vibe.
obviously, they're not as it's not going to be that bad because people are obviously recording and talking and whatever's in the tree can hear and see the people recording, and all they're doing is just shaking the tree more and breaking more branches and getting more aggressive, but never coming towards the person. Um, and that's a good thing. I'm glad. I never want to see a video that a person almost gets attacked because that'll scare the crap out of all of us, right? But it just, when I saw the first one, I was like, is this real? And the guy seems so sincere too. And the very first
Oh
one that
yeah,
I
he's
watched,
completely reacting to everything that's happening. You can hear him, whoa, 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 whoa. He's freaking out. Dude,
yeah,
genuinely, can't say I would have stood out there that long.
yeah, he was out there a long time.
I mean, he had things being thrown at him, and basically he was just, well, I'm going to record this regardless of what happens.
The
So
people in the
God
comment
bless you
section,
for doing that, by the way.
people in the comment sections were like, "I would have been out. You stood out there too long." And then there was another video. It was a woman, um, female, and she was, recording, and she was like, "Oh, let me see if I can zoom out. I don't know how to do this. I don't like." She was, okay, okay, I got it. I got the zoom. I got the zoom, and I got. So she was
Yeah, she was
doing her
doing
best.
boomer
So
mode
I'm like,
basically.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself like, there's no way that this is AI because this woman like she was
She could
having,
figure it out. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm like, she's not gonna be able to go in there and.
she'd go inside and get like some master program going.
So yeah, it was just something to think about, guys. There's a lot more happening.
So we got that situation. Then I was actually watching another creator on TikTok talking about this, and I don't know this is fact, but I do know that the videos have slowed down a little bit. They're saying since the the portals have started being open, that the orb videos are starting to become less and less, fewer and fewer, and there's still the drone videos, but there's less orb videos. So some people are starting to equate whatever was going on with the portals being open, that these entities were there for that specific reason, and they're no longer here.
Hmm. That's I hadn't heard that
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
That's an interesting take, but I don't know because okay, it's something to think about. But the only reason where I would be like, let's look into that some more, is because these orbs that people were recording,
Mhm.
they looked like the Ophimum, right? That's how you say it,
Yeah.
uh,
There's a lot of different types of angels.
they look like those biblically accurate angels with
Hmm.
all the eyes and the discs that there's a
There's
lot of them
throne
that look like
angels. There's
that.
other ones too. Yeah.
There's so many that look that way, and so that's what that is. If you
I
look at
mean,
them,
but could that be that they came specifically to make sure that whatever was supposed to happen with the opening of the portal didn't happen? Could that be the
because they were
case?
protecting us,
Yeah.
yeah,
They,
I had that feeling too.
hmm And that we never see them again in our lifetimes, that they're just gone. That'd be very interesting too.
Hmm.
Um, because it feels like this is building up to some kind of crescendo. It does. I would. It's not that I want the world to end. I'm not going there. I'm just saying I would be very disappointed if all this activity came up and it looked like we were moving into a different space, and then all of a sudden everything just gonna die back down again, and we were back in the old 3D.
No, I'd be like,
Yeah,
we can't. But there's no going back. There's no coming
you
back
would
from
think
this.
so. You would
No,
think so.
no, because if they say, oh, it was all fake, I'd be like, come on.
Well, the Battle of Los Angeles in the 1940s, that was documented. They had footage of it. They had pictures. They had all kinds of people, and then it became a footnote. So I guess that's the other thing to ask: is this going to just become another little footnote in the history of, the paranormal? that was a weird end to 2024.
I don't know how people could just forget it though. It's like it, the only way, to be honest, the only way that I could see that happening is if it comes out, oh, it's all been fake. It's been a joke. Ha ha he. Just like when they did the War of the Worlds and there was a radio show and people thought they were being attacked. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
People thought they were being attacked by aliens outdoors and the radio show would come on and it came on and they were saying, because it sounded like it was a real broadcast and then it turns out, oh, it's just a radio show. People are like, oh my gosh. A lot of people started freaking out and going into their basements and
Worse, a lot worse.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I don't see it going back that way. I'm just bringing it up as a thought.
There's
What
no coming
if?
back from
What
this.
if? What if, 5 years from now we all said, remember how crazy it was at the age of 24 and then nothing else ever happened after that? Wouldn't that be,
That would be crazy.
it'd be a disappointment really though, right? Because we have to have some kind of, there has to be some
Answer.
disclosure or conclusion to this. There has to be answers. And I don't want it to be from a government official in a military outfit or a tie.
No.
I want somebody to come out and say, hey, listen, this is what it was. This is why it happened. That we have to have that at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to tell us. We need some sort of resolution
Mhm.
answer. It's like because if we do go back to that, oh, remember how crazy the end of 2024 was? Wasn't that crazy? Wow. Because
Well,
they kind of talk about 2020 the toilet paper debacle.
Yeah.
Remember 2020 when the toilet paper was gone and
but I don't want this to be another footnote. I don't want this to just be another thing. Because I feel like there really is somebody trying or something trying to get a message across. And I think it's important that we explore it and we find out what's going on right now. Because I think the greatest victory for the people in charge right now is for this to go away.
for it to go away. And the thing is, I believe that if it does, that would be very sad. I feel like it shouldn't go away. I don't think there's a way that it could unless there's a lot of manipulation that comes with that. And I feel like, this, I don't know, part of me feels like this is going to be the new normal, you know?
Yeah, I was definitely feeling that. And then, like I said, now we're starting to see the drones crash, right? You can actually see government officials and police opening up these things saying, hey, look at what we found. That doesn't feel good either. That feels different too. I don't know what that's all about, but we need to keep researching. We need to find out exactly what's really happening.
People are becoming, like you said, you're numb. People are becoming kind of numb and nonchalant to the news of new things. I'll tell people, oh my gosh, have you been keeping up with the orbs and yeah, I saw that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, did you hear what the Pope's gonna do? Yeah, crazy. Who knows why? It's kind of crazy. Let's
it's
see
kind
what
of crazy.
happens.
Yeah, something about Lucifer. And that's like,
And then I think the only person so far that I've talked about this weird tree thing, this tree monster, let's call him the tree monster, is with you.
yeah,
So I'm just curious what people's reaction is going to be if I bring it up. Hey, did you hear about what's happening in South Carolina? A lot of people are, getting video recording of this tree monster, invisible, mind you, tree monster that's breaking the branches, and it looks like an invisible force field or energy field.
right.
Yeah, and it's just, I wouldn't be surprised if people are like, huh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because it's come to that point. I mean, we see things in the sky. You've got so many videos on your feed now that you're like, oh yeah, it's not as good as the last one I saw, not as clear as the last one I saw. So you're starting to get to that point where you're accepting it, and every one of these things that comes across, I'm still fascinated. I want to look at it and see it and everything else, because we saw another video today of a guy who's like, hey, did you ever think about reaching out to these orbs and seeing if they'll like talk to you or communicate with you? I'm like, I did this years ago with
You did.
Spirit, because I would literally sit there on my Ghost Hunter universities and I would tell people, hey, if you want the spirits to interact with you, just be friendly, be kind, be nice, and ask them to sit with you. We'll take a picture. And we would wait and people, hey, you want to sit with me? You want to talk to me? Snap the picture. There's an orb over their shoulder. There's an orb in their hand. There's 10 orbs around their head. This is really backing up a lot of theories for me as a paranormal investigator, because I'm saying not only can human spirit obviously come through in these, not only can angels come through in these, what else can come through in this orb form? And this really does start to make me believe that the fourth dimension is even closer than we ever thought it was. And it's very easy now for them to come back and forth between the worlds because of CERN. CERN has opened that gate up wide.
Yeah. That's one thing that like people used to say was a conspiracy theory, and you can't say that if it's true. Like if you know that they've got this machine or device, whatever you
Whatever
want
you
to
would
call
call it,
it,
yeah.
that is doing a lot of different like isolating God particles, creating portals, creating like just like different
Well,
things.
and then they're when they finally get it finished, the whole celebration that they had was unabashedly Luciferian. It was people dancing around the devil and welcoming him in, and he was leading the way through the dimensions and all the interpretive thing that they did.
Oh yeah,
It was so blatant. I mean, it made
yeah.
the Olympics look tame, I was like, is anybody else seeing this? That these people hold this kind of power, this kind of ability, and it's clear what their agenda is. They want to bring this here
Yeah.
permanently, like combine the things. So, and then we had TV shows at that time, or Netflix shows like Stranger Things. They're talking about the upside down, and we had, because they have to tell you, they got to show you. But we're living here now.
We're living it. That's what I was gonna say. Like when you mentioned that, because I wanted to bring that up too. Like it kind of feels like all these strange things happening. Kind of feels like we're living in an episode, a more realistic episode of like Stranger Things or
Yeah,
something. And
100%.
because you have all these things happening at the same time, and it's been interesting to say the least. It's been chaotic, um, unbelievable.
Well, there's something new every day, guys. There's something new every single day. Like in personal life, we're starting to see things blatantly. I, I have to say, just for my personal experience, I've been in a lot of haunted locations. I've lived in haunted houses. I'm haunted myself. I've had a lot of these things
I'm
happen.
haunted myself.
But when it comes down to it, I never really expected that I would be in a location where I could just at will see truly paranormal events take place right in front of my eyes, almost on command. Where I'm looking over. Oh, yep, it's the lady in the white robe. Hi, ma'am. How are you? Good to see you. No, you're not translucent. You're a physical figure that appears in my house. How's it going? I'm gonna name her soon. I'm gonna want to have a conversation because she appears so consistently.
Yeah,
We the other night in the bedroom, had taken the little kitten to sleep in
that's
one
what I was
room.
gonna talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you had your experience in the
yeah.
other, and she had to come get
I
me.
had to go get him. To the reason why we're bringing this up is because it's not just people have always had paranormal experiences, and they were few and far between. And I've been doing. I mean, you've been doing this longer than I have, paranormal investigations and research
Well,
and
I'm
all
old. That's why.
that.
I am. I'm fucking
That's
old. I'm,
not
I'm
why
old as
I'm
dirt.
saying.
That's why.
That's not why I'm
No,
saying.
but I'm telling you, I'm very old.
Well, old man,
Yes.
you've been doing this much longer than I have. Much, much longer. I'm quite a newbie because I'm so young. So young. So anyway.
Oh God.
Chris has been doing it for a longer than I have. But even in the time that I started to really network and meet other people in the paranormal field and other paranormal investigators and other experiencers, other people that have experiences, you know, they were very, the stories were exciting, and they were, wow, and I would research the locations and all that, and there were quite a bit. It wasn't just a few. There were a lot of stories, but the amount of stories that are coming in now,
Oh yeah.
the amount
From everywhere,
from
from
everywhere,
skeptics.
firsthand experiences, people that call me, that message me, and I need to send you these pictures. And I mean, and like I said, my information's always been out there for people to reach out to me, to ask me, my opinion, my advice, what I think it could be. And I'd always get a lot. I would. But recently, the amount of experiencers that are coming forward is more than doubled. And I mean,
I think that's low end.
I have people that are very close to me that have, told me, hey, I have this and this and this that's been happening, that things that I've experienced, and then other people that are even closer to me telling me, this and this and this happened. What do you think? Oh my gosh. And here I am listening to them talk to me, and I'm like, well, I 100% believe you, because things have tripled, quadrupled for us. Chris and I have always been experiencers, and I think the reason why we've always been able to sense and detect paranormal activity is because of our, sensitive psychic abilities. So people that have that psychic ability usually, their energy is like a beacon. So these spirits, ghosts, entities, they're attracted to, a psychic medium's energy. So we've always had activity, but lately, I mean, has it not quadrupled or tripled or whatever? It's
Mhm.
just, it's become more prevalent. And when we first moved into the house we're in right now, we knew that there was something going on
Mhm.
when we first moved into that house, but lately it's gotten more active.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. Like it's,
Yeah.
like if I'm spending any time alone out in that family room, and I just look over, I can see. I'm like, oh, there,
And we see
there
it.
you
And it's not just us. Our kids have seen it. I have, one of my nieces that goes over often. She's like, "Oh, I've seen the apparition of the woman. I've seen her." So a lot of people are witnessing this in my home. And okay, so the story, getting back, sorry, I got off track here. What happened to us the other night? Now what? Maybe a week ago, week and a half
go. Oh, this was
ago,
longer than that.
2 weeks
It
ago. I don't
was
know.
a ways back.
It
Yeah.
was a ways back, but Merlin was fairly new,
I think it
right?
was the first night or second night that you've been with.
Yeah, it was like the first couple of days that he was staying with us. And I didn't want for Merlin to sleep in our room because our other cat, who her name is Kiki, was getting very stressed out. And so Chris was like, "Well, I don't want him to sleep alone in the guest room, so I'll go sleep with him." And I was like, "Well, okay, that's fine." So he went to go sleep in the guest room with Merlin, and I stayed in our bedroom with the other cats, and I just couldn't sleep. Every time I'd start falling asleep, something would shake me up. Something would shake me up. Something would shake me up. And then I started hearing knocks.
Yeah.
Knocks. I started hearing knocks on the walls and the windows. And I got up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shake it off. It's probably nothing. Trying, because if I started to pay attention to it, then I would if I began to pay attention to it, then I felt like it was just gonna psych myself out, and it was gonna become worse. I'm like, oh, it's fine. And so I get up and I go to the restroom. I have to go pee, right? So I get up to go to the bathroom,
Mhm.
and we have one of those sliding doors. And the thing about our sliding door is that it's old. It's an older house, so it gets stuck. It's always stuck, and you have to like pull it to have it slide. Well, I take a few steps. I'm standing in front of it. I'm about to reach out to it. Before I could even touch it, the door on its own, like unhooks, zunk, and then it goes, and I'm staring at it. And I'm like, oh my God. I was there for a couple of seconds, which felt like an eternity. And I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta go get Chris. I walk in. Poor thing never gets any sleep, and he was getting the best sleep of his life that night, and he never gets any sleep. And I walk over. I open the sliding door to that bedroom, close it, and I'm just staring at him. And I'm like, if I don't wake him up, and he wakes up and he sees me staring at him, it's gonna freak him out. And I'm standing over him, and then I guess he felt me. He's like, "Oh shit, what happened?" And I told him what happened. He came over to the room. He was so tired. You walked in the room, and you were like, "Stop."
I just told him, I don't have patience for you. Stop it. And it stopped.
It stopped.
And the dogs jumped up on the bed, and I said, "If you have no more problems, come get me again." And I went back. She was fine for the
I
rest of
was
the
fine
night.
the rest of the night.
But, you know, the activity's through the roof. That's what we're trying to say. The activity's through the roof. I don't sense it calming down. I think that we're heading for the most unusual time that we'll ever be able to discuss again. I think
Yeah.
2025 is going to be the explosion of everything, and we're going to find out about a lot of things that if you were considered conspiracy theorist before, you're going to be considered a truth teller after all is said and done, and you
Oh,
might even be shocked by the things that come out.
can't wait for that. Can't
Me
wait for
either.
it to be truth tellers instead of conspiracy. And just to let you all know, that wasn't the only recent experience that we had. Just last night in our shop, in this shop, as you guys know, those of you that follow us, we have Lucky Cat, who we rescued because she had an injury, and she's, yeah, recuperating here in our shop, and we're taking care of her, giving her medicines, all of those things. So at night, I'll check the cameras to the shop just to see if she's walking around, see if she's okay, see if I hear her. Last night, or early this morning, it was like 4:20 in the morning, four
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking through the cameras to see if I see her, and in the candle room, the apothecary room, I hear her meowing, and then all of a sudden I notice tons of orbs. I mean, I'm gonna post that video probably on my TikTok or on our in the Magic Moon Metaphysicals TikTok. Maybe we'll even post it up on this YouTube if you
Yeah.
want. But um, it's a very long video, so I'll just clip the exciting part. And these orbs shooting upward and just kind of dancing in circles, and then gliding towards the camera and dancing and just like it was energy, spirit energy, and I think they're attracted to our candles
Yeah.
because those candles are so
So much energy.
so much energy in those candles. Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
That's what I think.
I think so too. I
So
think we've talked a very long time once again.
we have, but I wanna get your opinion on something.
What's that?
I want to know, what is your opinion? What is your take on this tree monster? What do you think it is? Like, just your psychic intuition. Like, what do you think?
The first place I went was probably Sasquatch, probably interdimensional Sasquatch. But I don't feel like it's the friendly ones. I feel like this is the aggressive, that are coming through now.
So, do you think there's do you believe that there's more than one type of like Bigfoot?
Oh yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you think there's like the peaceful clan, and then there's
I think so, or at least the ones who want to stay out of harm's way. They just want to be, hidden, and I don't think these want to be hidden at all. I think they want to come cause a lot of problems.
that's a little unnerving,
Yeah, yeah,
It's unnerving.
That one
Um,
bothers me.
do you think we're gonna get more video evidence, or we're gonna see more
Yeah,
of
I think
these?
we're going to get a lot more evidence of these things, unfortunately, with that one, because I don't think that they have any good intent.
And what are your thoughts for closing? What are your thoughts on the whole Vatican ritual? What do you think their final? Just your intuition, your discernment. What?
I believe that the Vatican is working with CERN. I think it's been long before CERN was ever established. I think this has been all part of the plan. This timing, this year, all the different things that are taking place, the orbs, the drones, the whole thing. I think that they're trying to bring through um, their version of the dark one. They're trying to bring them fully into this world, into the third dimension, and I think they have to kind of blend the two to make it happen. I think they've got to kind of bring us up a little bit and bring them down a little bit. They don't want us in the fifth. They don't want it. That's too high. That's knowledge, but they want to bring it just enough that we keep crossing back and forth into this terrifying fourth dimension. And there was a Spanish researcher, and I sorry I don't have his name right now, but Dee and I stumbled upon him on Facebook years ago, and
His name was David something.
okay, yeah, but,
David something.
David something, but he had found a way to actually photograph into the fourth dimension, and those images were terrifying. They were terrifying,
They were.
terrifying images, and we kept saying, "I pray that there's never a cross truly between the two worlds." And then CERN was announced just after that.
I'll look into, so that in the next podcast we will announce his name so that you guys can go look. If you can still find his work, it's David. I don't remember his last name,
We'll find it.
but we will find that. But yeah, and so you believe that it's all connected.
Yeah,
Like,
all this is totally connected. I think this has been a master plan, and on the other side of it, I believe that we talked about Looking Glass, and go back and look in previous episodes. They've seen there's no way to win, no way to win, no way to win. So I think what they did is eventually said, let's just take the whole kitchen sink, everything we got, and let's throw it all at them at once. And if we cause enough stress, enough panic, enough fear, maybe that will be enough that can push us over the edge, and we can truly take over the way that we've always wanted to. I really feel that that's the agenda.
do you think they're gonna succeed?
No,
I like that.
because when it comes down to it, Yahuwah has always stated that in the end he wins.
Yeah.
And that's all we really need to know. If the creator says, I already have seen all of it, I wrote a book about it, and you guys are just living through it right now, he already knows how the game plays out. And the darker entities, the evil ones that are out there, they don't have the kind of knowledge. They can't see what he sees. So he's always giving them glimpses, but just teasing them enough to say, you're never going to win. I've got you checkmate the entire time. So I'm sure we're going to survive it, or the majority of us will survive it. And those of us who don't will I'm sure be back again to see the new version. So yeah.
I like that. So hopefully Next time. All right, real quick. This is episode 5. What are we doing for the next one? Are we going to do a live version?
Who the hell knows?
Huh?
Who the hell knows? We get on here and literally right before we go on, she's like, what are we doing? I was like, I don't know. We're going to talk. And it's the truth because, I want it to be organic. But yeah, it would be kind of cool to do our 6th episode as a live. So we'll start planning on this side. And
That might be cool.
I think we can go live from YouTube. So
live from YouTube, or you want to do a TikTok one?
Well, I'm thinking go live from YouTube and hopefully bring people in through multi-stream.
All right, that'd be cool. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this was not playing as we were just coming up.
No.
So if we just pop back on next week, it didn't work out.
That's right. If we end up doing a recorded one, the live thing didn't work out. But we might want to do one of the first live ones on TikTok and announce that we're going. Or who knows? We'll just.
I do a live every single night. I could tell them, hey, this night we're going to be over here.
That's true. You could do that.
But if we do the multi-stream, TikTok will see it, Facebook will see it, everybody will see it. So
everyone will see it.
Yeah,
Everyone.
we'll make it work.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, good times as always.
Always a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
I could keep yapping. I could keep going.
Oh, I could go for days. I mean, eventually people will be like, please just stop talking.
The Vatican
but
is the Roman Empire.
Yeah, the Roman Empire never fell, guys. They just rebranded as a church. Remember that.
And I heard that from you first a couple of episodes ago. I've seen a lot of people saying that now. Like, wait, he said it first.
Mooney told you, but hey, who cares? Anyways, guys, we love you, and we'll be back here next Thursday doing the same thing, hopefully live.
Yeah, hopefully live.
Yes.
And we'll release the next one next week. Love you guys. Smile, and remember to make someone else smile too. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications.